I want to turn to new heat on Donald Trump. He's under fire for doubling down on racist comments he made over the weekend, saying this just last night in Iowa.
They're destroying the blood of our country. That's what they're doing. They're destroying our country. They don't like it when I said that. And I never read Mein Kampf. They said, oh, Hitler said that in a much different way.
Trump in recent days has been widely condemned for the comments about immigrants, which echoed the rhetoric of Adolf Hitler. Here is what Trump originally said.
They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done. They poison mental institutions and prisons all over the world.
GOP senators offering up some, I'd say, tepid criticisms, saying, quote, I obviously don't agree with that. We're all children of immigrants, and, quote, I certainly wouldn't have said that, and calling it, quote, unhelpful rhetoric. Unhelpful. Joining me once again is Michael Cohen. Michael, we are all children of immigrants. Trump's violent and fascist rhetoric seems to be getting worse and worse as we push forward to decision 2024. How low can he go before we actually see some measure of repercussions for what he's saying and doing?
There is no depth to which Donald will sink in order to continue to stir up his base. Now, of course, Donald has not read Mein Kampf. Donald doesn't read. I mean, it's not that he didn't want to read it. It's just that unless it's in Cliff Notes or unless somebody read it to him, Donald does not read. You got guys like Steve Miller who are writing these speeches for him and discussing it with him, so he knows exactly what he's saying. You know, in my first book, Disloyal, I talk about an encounter that I had with Donald with an employee of the Trump Organization who was German. And while we were having a conversation, Donald stopped the conversation and he goes, you know, I just had a thought. He goes, I bet your family chased Michael's family through the Red Forest. And I looked and I said, hey, boss, you do know my father is a Holocaust survivor. So he goes, yeah, that's why I said it. Donald knows exactly what he's saying. He is playing to the lowest denominator of American that exists in this country, the racist, anti-Semitic animals that exist in that MAGA world. That's who he's playing to, and he will only go lower each and every time that he says something, and he generates more and more conversation, and he becomes front page news. He will then steep and go much lower to the point that even I can't tell you how low he will go.
Trump's grandfather came from Germany. Trump's mother came from Scotland. Stephen Miller's family came from Belarus. I mean, it's convenient, right, that they forget what their heritage is. You know, Michael, you also actually wrote
by the way, let's not forget let's not forget 2 out of his 3 wives as well are immigrants. So,
and then his children are. Then I guess the blood of the Trump legacy is also poisoned from the immigrant blood, I guess, of his wives then. So wait, so Michael, you also allegedly said in your book that Trump made racist comments in your book, Disloyal. You write, quote, Trump once asked me if I could name a country run by a black person that wasn't a S-word hole. Are Trump's public statements now mirroring his private conversations?
It's not just in Disloyal that they mirror. The same is in the book Revenge, where I keep talking about the weaponization of the Justice Department by Trump and his minion against his critics. He's now, of course, deflecting and using that and making claims that it's the Biden administration that's doing it to him. So, yes, it's mirroring every single thing that I said. Why? Because I know him better than almost anybody, and I know what he's thinking, and I know what he's planning on doing, because Donald doesn't have new thoughts. Everything is a regurgitation of something from the past. You know, he is truly the most dangerous person right now in this country and possibly the world. And we better start taking this incredibly seriously. Otherwise, we're going to lose our democracy. And I hate it when people say, oh, you're just being hyperbolic, you're just an anti-Trumper, and so on. Yeah, maybe I am an anti-Trumper. You want to call me that? No problem. Why? Because I'm telling you the truth. And it's not, don't listen to me. Don't listen to Katie. Listen to what Donald is telling you himself. You know, Donald is of the mindset, you know, ignore what you hear from anybody else. Listen to me, but only the things I want you to believe. I mean, it's absolutely insane. And the fact that there are so many Americans still out there that are supporting him. How about when he turned around and he said today that, you know, he's talking about an immigration ban, Asia, he's talking about Africa, and then he's talking about South America. Look at the racist undertone that we're talking about here. You're talking about Asians, you're talking about Hispanics, Latinos, and blacks. He doesn't want them in the country. He's going to shut down all of immigration. Why? Well, because as president, he thinks that he can do it. And he will try to do it the same way that he accomplished violating my First Amendment constitutional rights because he didn't like what was going to be coming out about him. I mean, this is who the man is. He is a dictator wannabe.
Oh, I don't think, Michael, you and I don't disagree often. I will disagree with you on 2 points. One, I don't think he's a dictator wannabe. I think he is a dictator. And number two, I don't think those are racist undertones. I think those are very, very clear racist messages that he is sending. But Michael Cohen, I'm out of time. Thank you for being here.